Welcome everyone. My name is Erin, as you know, and I am just starting to open a knit studio. That has been a dream for a long time, to have a space relegated to hosting workshops and teaching interested people in different aspects of knitting, as well as just a comfy place for me to practice my art. And so I will just give a little brief introduction to this. I'll just pan around and show you what the knit studio looks like. But so far, I am going to have 3 offerings this summer. 3 classes. I just have a bunch of papers here, so let me find them. So what I'd like to do, I will be offering on June 29th, which is a Monday, a beginning knitting class. And I would like to have this be repeated about every 2 weeks so that I can gauge how much interest there might be, and then hopefully ask participants what days and times work best for them. I do work full-time at another job, but I really would like to build a comfortable gathering place for people to just work on their knitting, learn new things. And for me, it's like a lifelong learning journey anyway. So I'm really happy that I am happy to work with others who have skills to offer. And so far there will be one person offering a sock knitting class over a 4-week period, so that hopefully by the end of 4 weeks, someone would have time to complete a sock at the different parts of it. I'm waiting to get her description of the class before I publish it. But so far I've made up a flyer that I will post in local stores, local to me. And I just thought, the reason I thought I would just put this up on my website is, even though this is not going to be an online course or workshop, my goal is to eventually run knit-alongs and that kind of thing that can be done online, where I could have a Ravelry home base that people could go to from any location, no matter where they are, to participate. I've watched people for years organize knit-alongs, and it does seem like it's more work than people might think. I mean, I admire people that do it, that coordinate it. So far I will be doing a beginning knitting class, and the description is: choose from 3 beginner-friendly patterns to start. All materials provided, just bring yourself and curiosity. And my motto is, there is no wrong way. I will be, anyone who commits to a beginning knitting class, I will be available by email and text, so that as questions come up over time, if someone is really interested in practicing, because I know it's one thing to learn from YouTube, but it's another thing to have someone that you can actually go to work through any problems you're having. And it is just one of those things that's hard to start, but once you get it, then you really get it. And then it becomes kind of self-fulfilling. The next class in July will be Mosaic Knitting for early to intermediate knitters. So you should be able to just, be familiar with knitting. This shawl piece up here is probably the biggest example of mosaic knitting, and I'll show the full thing that I have on the wall when I just give a little quick tour of the space, the room. So that will be on Sunday, July 19th. The reason why I'm doing Sundays and Mondays offering these is just because those are my days off work. I do have some flexibility where as long as I know if someone were wanting to collaborate with me and wanted to teach a class in any kind of skill, just drop me a line. I have my working my knit email, Waterwoman Knits email, on the flyers, and then you're welcome to choose whatever day works for you. I know many people are retired in my community that might be interested in teaching a skill, and so I can work around whatever day works for you as long as I have a week's notice to change my schedule. Okay, and then in August, so we have 1 June, 1 July, 1 August so far. And this will be a knit along, and I have no idea what the interest will be, but I figure August, kind of the hottest month of summer, this is for experienced knitters to bring your own supplies and a summer tee pattern. It'll be a summer tee knit along. Or I can email several summer tee patterns to choose from and suggestions for sourcing plant-based blend fibers. We can cast on, knit, and chill with provided iced non-alcoholic drinks. Knit along ends last day of October when summer is a memory. And the prizes will be determined for completed projects. I will hope to work more in the future with local yarn stores, and that might be an example of, in some collaboration, I might approach them for prizes being, and see what I can offer in exchange. Okay. One idea that I'm excited to make for a summer tee is the Lanakai summer tee. And this pattern it's just very simple and very oversized and drapey. And so it actually would fit so many different body types. I did actually make one in the past, but it was using my scraps, and I ended up striping it to use up small amounts of yarn, and looked at the final product and decided the colors weren't working together. So I took the whole thing out to repurpose the yarn. And another pattern that just really caught my eye that I'd like to make for my daughter maybe is this oversized sweater by Melanie Berg. It's called Near and Dear, which I love that title. It's like a complete box, like a square design with drop shoulders. And so I think it would be fast. It's a DK weight yarn with size 6 needles. And yeah, so I'm excited to hopefully get started with some work doing with this, like creating a little small side business through knit workshops, and just get people together that would enjoy the craft and expanding their knowledge of it and have fun with it. I will give you a little tour. Let's take the phone off the tripod. Okay. This shawl is on the wall is as an example of kind of the biggest mosaic piece I've done, and it is by Natasja Hornby. I will look up the name. I've forgotten the name now at the moment of this, but it's just such a gorgeous piece. And this is an example of mosaic knitting. Okay, so here is a lovely peaceful view out the window with the Knit Happens mug, a hand, a plant in the corner, and then a table that has seat 6 people. Get the tripod out of the way. Okay, I have this LED lights that are knitted from LED wire, which I could offer a class on if anyone's interested. Little golden sun, clay sun, to shine down on everyone. My knitting books, I have some green tea there, and a beautiful ceramic yarn bowl that somebody made me years ago. I just love it. I haven't used it much because I love looking at it more than just as the shiny glaze and the color and the shapes. But you could potentially run color work through these yarn strands through them. So yeah, this is the table, which would seat 6 people. And then we have our string of crocheted mushrooms that my niece made me with little eyeballs. Love them. We have my stash closet, which is covered by a macrame curtain that I found. And if anyone knows how to do macrame and would be interested in teaching a class, I would absolutely love that, because it's something I did as a child, but I would not be in a position to teach it. And this, I just love this as a curtain. So anyway, maybe I have sort of a bohemian style or something. I don't know what my style is. This is a piece that I knit. It's kind of scrunched up, but that is a circular blanket, and it fits perfectly on this couch. The couch could sit 2 people. Then we have a needle organizer, and this is the first time I have ever organized my needles. I only work with circular needles, so that's what these are. And each little slot in this panel have the, if I zoom in, they tell you the millimeter and the US needle size, so you always know what you're pulling from. And so I'll have those available. This is just a nod to my daughter from a grade school, one of those handprint things in clay that she brought home from school, probably when she was 5 or 6. A hat design of mine, and a poster that I love of a woman sitting and knitting with a horse and 2 chickens in a field. And when I moved into the place that this space is in 4 years ago, the owners had horses and chickens, so it was kismet. This chair is super comfortable. In fact, this would be the chosen chair that I think everyone would want to sit in to knit. I love it. And yeah, so it's a nice space with good ventilation from the window over here. And if it gets really warm, I do have a tall fan that we can run. And so I'm excited to just welcome people to the space and hope that you enjoy the summer. Take care. One more little thing I thought I would share in case I was interested. I did some research and found that consumers ranked this pretty highly as a moth prevention thing. This is a box of different shapes of cedar, and the company is named, it's called Cedar for Closets, and it's Home Mode. And It has a pleasant smell. You know, cedar just has a pleasant, mild smell actually when it's this small. There's these balls that can be put in drawers or I put them now in every project bag that I have for knitting. And then they have these palette, kind of paddles, on hangers that you could put in a closet. I have them hanging in the stash, my stash. In the past, I have had issues with moths, and I'm trying to, or insects that eat wool, and I'm trying to make sure that I've gone through my stash now 3 times to make sure and gotten rid of anything that had any sign of it. And so anyway, I just could recommend this because so far it's working, and I want to keep this space free of moths. So thought I would let you know about that little tidbit. Let's see. Okay. See you later. June is the month of roses, and I'm lucky to be in a rental space that has pretty much a wall of both wild and not wild roses. They're all pretty wild though. And they're just like, look at how many blooms. This is like an entire, this one goes crazy and it has to be cut back, but it just grows like 10 feet tall or something. And then got this, some more, I'm not sure what these are. They don't last very long. They are a rose, but they're just so beautiful with the bright yellow on the white. And they're pretty fragile. And then I have my grandmother's rose here, which I have, it's from a cutting from a rose that was on my grandmother's porch. And I've had it in this pot for now I believe 10 years. I've taken it every move that I've had, which is a lot over the past 10 years. And it's just thriving. Every year it just blooms so much, and it blooms long. It has a really mild smell, but the color is just lovely. Then we go back to, you know, that book, The Secret Garden. When I was a kid, that was like my favorite book, because the kid in it had asthma and I had asthma. Anyway, and this is what this kind of reminds me of. Like, it's this little, look, I cut back all these salmonberry vines. There's one little berry, I didn't mean to cut that one off. But in order to give this rose more light, it's just gorgeous. It smells so good. I didn't even know, I was living in this space for 4 years. I didn't even know until last summer that this rose was here, because the other vines just covered it up so much, and then it prevents it from getting sun. But oh, it smells so good right now. Anyway, I thought I would just share this with you for the June roses.